There we go. We are live.
Yes,
Good morning, everyone. Okay. Okay, sounds like there might be an echo. Testing one, two. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. Today we have Marcia Ali, the teenologist. So, Marcia Ali is affectionately known as the teenologist. She is a talented writer who is sold out for teens.
good morning. Good morning.
She is the CEO of the nonprofit TOFT, which stands for Time Out for Teens. Marcia is also the founder of the parenting group Parenting on Purpose. Her passion for seeing teens be great comes from her personal experience with her son being sentenced to 18 years in New Jersey State Prison when he was only 18 years old. Marcia desires to pull greatness out of every teenager she encounters across the globe. With 25 years of experience, Marcia desires to empower parents by teaching them to be intentional in their relationship with their children. Marcia offers a variety of family consulting and coaching services to families. Marcia is also a licensed nurse. She is a native of Newark, New Jersey. She and her loving husband Shamsuddin currently reside in Suffolk, Virginia. Together, they share an immense amount of love for their 5 biological children and 1 bonus daughter. They consider their family to be a reflection of blended love. Good morning, Miss
Good
Marcia.
morning.
I hope I got that right.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. So once again we have I'm so glad I have you this morning parenting on purpose because I got a child right now that doesn't want to do it.
I want to
Kaden,
cooperate.
go play or be quiet. You have to sit quiet, okay? Okay, so what do you have for breakfast, Miss Marcia? Welcome to
I
a
have a cup of
breakfast.
coffee.
Was it too early? Was it too early?
No, I'm just intentionally not eating this morning, but
Got it.
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
Awesome. All right. Well, this morning I'm gonna do a Pop
Oh,
Tart.
a sugar load.
Yeah,
A sugar load.
I'll be ready
I,
to crash
I
by
hope your
12.
kids didn't get them Pop Tarts this
They
morning.
did. They eat
Oh,
it every
see.
morning. It's not on me though. It's my husband. He always like I'll tell him like to buy other stuff, but he'll buy Pop Tart because that's what they ask for.
Mm-mm.
So it is
That's
what it is.
part of the issue right there, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
I
That's your
agree.
house. Mind your own breakfast.
I like that. Mind your own
Mind
breakfast.
your own breakfast.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I want to have some fun today. I want to start off with a this or that with you. You willing to do
Okay,
that with me? You ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put some pictures on the screen and you're going to say which one you would prefer to have. You have to only choose one.
Okay.
And then we can talk about it a little bit if, let's just see what happens. Okay.
Okay.
So let's go. Okay, this or that.
Oh,
Pancakes
you
or
dead
waffles?
wrong. You dead wrong for
I
this.
didn't.
Okay. Pancakes. This.
Oh wow. Okay, so I chose waffles. Waffles is my thing. I cannot do pancakes.
I
No,
can.
no, I
You
can't.
know why?
Why?
Because I can reheat them. You reheat waffles, they get hard.
That's true. That's true. But still, I love my waffles. I don't know why, but I love them. Pancakes get soggier faster for me. I don't know. I just don't.
And they do.
Okay, so the next one is hot chocolate or coffee.
Coffee.
Ooh, okay. Same for me.
Coffee.
Coffee. Yep.
Coffee. Coffee. Coffee.
Same. Okay. Now, are you a more of a texter or someone who calls?
Calls.
Same. Well, for me, it kind of depends on the situation. Like if it's something real, like really, really quick, and I really just kind of want to let you know, text message. But if I feel like I need to explain something, I need to call.
True.
So that's me. Okay. Let's see. And the last one is being too hot or being too cold.
Too hot, honey. I'm in that season where I have hot flashes, secret summers, whatever you want to call them.
Got
I'm
you.
always too hot.
Got you. Okay. I don't know. I think I would probably, it depends on day and night. Because at night, I would rather be too cold. And then during the day, I'd rather be too hot.
Right.
So, all right. So that was some fun. Got to know a little bit about you, Miss Marcia. Okay. So, how did this, we came together? First of all, we met with at CWA networking event. That's where we first met, and you presented with parenting on purpose.
Mhm.
And so tell us more about parenting on purpose.
Okay, Parenting on Purpose is where I partner with parents to save this nation one child at a time. It's very simple. There's no no program agenda. It's just a platform that I give to parents to intentionally just be themselves, to talk about real life issues, real life problems. Before the pandemic, we used to meet once a month in Chesapeake, where sometimes I would have a speaker, sometimes I wouldn't. Sometimes we would just get together and just have a woosah moment.
Mm.
And after that, I just went into having the group on IG, and the private group on Facebook, just to give parents a place to just come and share, and for other parents to share information, what works for them, what doesn't work for them, just to empower each other. There's no mainstream for it. It's just there for them.
Well, and I really appreciate your platform. And you chose a platform that actually a lot of people tend to stay away from, which is dealing with teens. A lot of people would much rather work with younger children than teens, because they feel by they reach that teen year, it's like they're already far gone and there's nothing really that you can do. And
This is
so
true.
you've decided to mend bridges between parents and teenagers, and showing them um how to actually communicate with their child. Oh, you have someone said, "Hey, Marcia, good morning, love you." Richard Neblett.
Sure. Yes.
Gotcha.
That's
I
a
must say,
friend
I
of
must
mine
have butchered
from
that.
North. Hmm.
Gotcha. Well, good
Yep.
morning, Mr. Richard. Okay, so um one of the things, so in your you had put a question in your parenting group, and I am
Hmm.
a part of the parenting group. Her parenting group, if you are not in that parenting group, if you are a parent, you're going to want to do it. And that's pop, go ahead and tell them.
It's Parenting on Purpose,
Mm.
and you just have to ask to join and answer a few questions. There's no strict rules, but because of the diversity of the group, there are parents that are in the country, out of the country, all different walks of faith. Although I am a believer, I respect everybody's belief. So there are a few questions that you need to answer, and just come on in. And it's not just for parents, it's for grandparents, it's for aunts, uncles, teachers, grandparents, because everybody that's parenting is not necessarily a biological parent. So if you have a heart for children, you just want to know what we're doing, I don't turn anybody away, because I still believe in the concept that it takes a village to raise a child.
And it does. A team is needed for parenting, and a team is needed for business altogether. But one thing, you had put a post in your group, and the question was, what are you doing differently for, you said, the holidays, I think it was.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. And I had put that we're meditating as a family. And
Mm-hmm.
so you asked me to kind of explain it, but I'm like, "Ugh, I can't explain that." And
Well, help us, because these kids ain't meditating.
so I was like, it's a little more to that. So so pretty much with Caden is not there yet, because Caden has not reached that mature level in understanding the reason behind it. So Braylon, my 10-year-old, we started him probably around the age of 7 or 8. But the beginning steps start when, kids, they wake up early in the morning, and typically I'm up early in the morning. And so children typically tend to get or go toward the things that you do. So because they were already seeing me get up early in the morning and have my quiet time, and then like if
Mhm.
they come in and be loud, I'll say, this is mommy's quiet time. I'm meditating. I need you to be quiet so you can sit here or you can go do something else. But this is my quiet time right now. So through getting him to experience that moment, and then I told him, I said, okay, now Braylon, this is what meditation is. This is what you do. You're talking to God, you're hearing his voice, you're getting quiet, you're quieting your body. And so I tried to, I not tried, but I had him kind of just sit in his room. I like Dappy T Keys, and I can link that YouTube on in the video. But
Okay.
Dappy T Keys, which is he's a piano player that plays worship instrumental on a piano, and it is so soothing, and so it kind of helps you to quiet yourself down. And so I put him in a room, and I turned the music on, and I put him in there for, I want to say, 5 minutes. And
Okay.
I could have done something less than that. So I put him in there for, it was like a short amount of time just to kind of get him to experience being quiet. The
Okay.
other side of that is he wanted to. That's
Okay.
another thing. He wanted to do it. Some kids, they're not ready, which is why I said Caden is not ready. He's not ready
Mhm.
to go through that yet. So Braylon set him in a room 5 minutes, or could have been less than that. And then as time went on and he started asking me questions, well, mommy, what am I supposed to feel? What am I supposed to do? He asked questions as we're going through the process. And
Okay.
so I would explain to him, these different things. And then so eventually he actually started, he was like, mommy, can you put Deputy Keys on? And he actually started wanting it himself, and even before going to bed, because I think we had started doing it right before bed, like
Uh-huh.
maybe 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes before bed, we'll put it on. And I said, I'll just tell him, just lay there, and then I'll come in and shut the music off. So but that's how I got them to meditate. So now as a family, and the process is completely different from my husband, because at one point my husband wasn't doing it either. But when I kind of forced him into it, I just kind of put them all to come in the living room, turn the music on, you lay there, do it, you lay there or sit there, but you don't say nothing. You just sit there. So and that's kind of how I got the family to meditate as a family. So
Okay. So that's very interesting. And when you get a chance, I would like you to share one of the YouTube videos in the parenting group.
mhm,
I'll go back and comment on, things that we discuss. But one of the important things about what you said is that is a learned behavior, especially during the time that we're in now, and your children are younger, but it's a learned behavior that they can carry throughout their life. Because, as you said, children get up very early, except for when you want them to get up very early. They decide that they want to just sleep all day.
absolutely.
However, you know, teaching children learn behaviors early will help them later on, because a lot of times you need that quiet time.
Yes.
Especially now as a nurse, I go to work. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I have to be to work at 4:45. I need to be ready to work by 4:45.
Yeah.
And even now during the pandemic, where everything is focused on being inside, limited activities.
Yes.
I shared last week, we're basically in a hugless society. Everything has had to change. We're past pivot. Everything has to change. Nothing is the way it was. This is normal now. It's no longer the new normal. It's normal. And we have to find things that work. And like you said, your youngest son is not ready. It's important that we know our children at any age, know what works for them, what doesn't work for them, because you can't I mean, it's not like when I was a kid, if one person got in trouble, the whole house got in trouble. So you
Yeah.
got lined up and everybody got their butt whooped.
Right.
Um, it didn't matter. But now you have a generation where they have questions and they
Absolutely.
want answers, and you can't lump them all together. I don't care what their age is. You can't lump them all together. You have to know what works and what doesn't work. We're being forced to change a lot of things. I mean, there are things that I wanted to do this past week that as an adult I had to make a decision that I couldn't do because I am a nurse and I am around COVID patients. I had to restrict my activities and be careful about where I go, not because I've been, tested positive for COVID, but I have to be conscious of what day could that happen to me. So, it's all in knowing who you are, knowing what you're working with. And I find that this season that we're in, a lot of parents have been forced to learn who their children are.
Absolutely. It's so crazy that you say how that relates to learning things from a young age to an older age, because I can tell you right now that especially when it came to like starting a business, you have to put yourself out there, and all of your flaws show, everything that you don't know, all of your insecurities, all of that stuff shows, your lack of self-discipline, all of that shows. And so it's because of my experience as an adult that I did start catering to my children, to the
Mhm.
things that I was lacking, I started like building in my children. So one of the things, meditation helps with being balanced, and being able to, even though you have a crazy day, you can actually come back and have a tool to
Mhm.
use in order to get back to
Get centered.
yes, center, exactly. And so what I am seeing right now is that a lot of people who are starting businesses, and although their businesses are they're very much needed, they don't have the right tools, they don't have the right
Mhm.
discipline, they don't have the right education to help them to continue in business the way they should be. And get them to where they should be. So that was a great point that you made, that
Mhm.
it starts from childhood. It starts there.
I mean, it's something so simple as um, yelling. I'll use that for an example.
Mhm.
You know, there was a time where, if mom or dad or single parents, you know, say mom has to be to work, leave for work at 7 o'clock. There are so many things that mother has to go through to get out the door. It's Raheem, get up. She's going out the door. She's trying to grab a snack, pack her lunch, make sure
Mhm.
that their clothes are out, praying that they going to go out the door wrinkled, don't miss the bus. There's so many components
Yeah.
to that single mother getting out the door that there's so much chaos in that child. By the time they get to the side of their bed, their mind is completely gone. They go to school heavy, they go to school burdened, and next thing you know, they're yelling because that's what they've heard since they woke up. And it's not that mom or dad is intentionally trying to upset their day. They're just trying to encompass it takes a lot to be a parent.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, getting to work and getting a call that the baby done missed the bus. Now you got to process, okay, I don't want to deal with this crazy supervisor, but my baby got to get to school. So
Right.
all of these emotions, so now you got to leave work, you got to get back in your car, you got to drive 20 minutes to get this person to school, but from the time you pull up, you banging on the horn, or you calling them on their cell phone, you yelling at them all the way to school. So they go to school discombobulated, and you going back to work like you done worked out in Planet Fitness for an hour.
Look, okay, so you brought up like that whole yelling thing. I don't know if you remember that when I first met you all, and before I move on, Miss Cheryl says, "Morning, Marcia."
Good morning.
Deshonda says, "Yes, it takes a lot to be a parent." And Alex sent a bunch of hearts. He sent
Okay.
about yeah, a couple of them hearts. So they are responding. Good morning to all of you. But personal moment. I don't know if you remember when I first came to the networking. I think it was either a networking event or actual official CWA event. Um, but I said, I'm trying not to yell at my kids.
Yes,
Do
honey,
you
you
remember
did.
that? So, and because it was like I started seeing it was first of all, it was a scary and a sad moment at the same time, because it was like I'm reacting based off of how I feel in the moment, and at that, not sometimes, but in that moment, that's what came up, and that's what I had. No self-control, no
Mhm.
self-discipline. So I had to apologize to my kid. I literally had to apologize to myself. I said, Braylon, I said, I am so sorry. Mommy is, matter of fact, I think I just said I'm sorry, because I don't think I even gave an excuse, because there's no excuse for it. And the reason that caught my attention was because my boys started to jump, like they started become easily jumping, and then I started seeing my oldest son treat my younger son
Yep.
how I treated him, and I said, I don't
Mhm.
like that. And so
Mhm.
I had to turn and put the reflection on myself to say, okay, Alicia, there are some things that you have to change as a parent if you want your child to to treat other people correctly, because he's learning from you specifically.
He is.
So, yeah.
And I mean, it's, another learned behavior. You know, you're yelling, they're going to start yelling.
Mhm.
And when you sit back and see it, and are still enough to reflect on it, it's an aha moment, because they will grow up to just be yelling little people, and they grow up to be big yelling people. And, it's an expression. A lot of times, people who don't know how to express themselves, they resort to yelling because
Yes.
they can't properly, express themselves. And then you have people that are non-confrontational, who will just shut down.
Yes.
When things get too loud, they just shut down. Yes, there are some people that are natural. I'm not talking about people who are naturally loud, because you have people that are naturally loud, just like there are people that are naturally quiet. But
Mhm.
again, you have to know, the dynamics of your household. My husband's not a yeller. I am. And, I've learned that I don't have to yell to be heard when it comes to him.
Yeah.
My youngest son, he doesn't take kindly to yelling, because he's not a yeller. He will just shut down, like, okay, I don't want to hear you. And the biggest thing that I can share with parents that do yell, even if it's on occasion, your kids ain't listening.
Yes.
They don't hear you.
Yes.
And most of them know. It's just like your kids, you can count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then somewhere laughing, like, here she go.
Yep.
And they just gonna let you go off. And then, you gonna stand on, do you hear me talking to you? And then, if today's kids will be like, yeah, back in my day, we would have got slapped, but it's a
Right.
whole different generation of children now.
Absolutely. Yeah, my son is considered to have a smart mouth, and he does from time to time. But sometimes he'll have a smart mouth, and he'll be right. So I didn't know, like, I'm like, wait, do I check him or do
Kind
I
of like turn your head. Let me go absorb that for a minute. Yeah,
exactly. So, well, this was an awesome conversation. I am so happy that we got to do a live. I can't wait to do more with you. And I know you got a lot
absolutely.
coming up. I don't know if you want to share, but I know you have a lot coming up, especially in 2021. I am very excited for you.
I am. I really am. I really am. And I just want to thank everybody that was able to tune in, those that'll catch it on the replay. Because of a schedule change, I was able to be here this morning. And I'm excited about the future. And as I leave everything, when I talk to people, just remember that you are important, you are valuable to God, and that you matter. And you need to live every day intentional, knowing that you make a difference. I don't care
Yeah.
what you're going through, you matter.
And on that note, we are going to just leave it right there. I pray that everybody has an awesome day, a wonderful day today. And make sure there was actually an announcement that I had to make. But I'll just put it on Facebook today. So thank you again, Miss Marcia. Um have an awesome day, but stay on. I'm gonna go ahead and end this broadcast. Thank you, Instagram, Facebook. Where else am I? And also on YouTube. So have a great day.